The sinking of Titanic was a tragic event that resulted in the loss of many lives. But some people believe that the sinking of Titanic was not an accident, but a well-thought-out plan to make millions of dollars by collecting insurance money. Hello, and welcome to our channel, where we bring you the craziest and weirdest conspiracies. Some of these will be true, while others will be so outrageous that you will be left speechless. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon for new conspiracy videos every day. Today's topic is the conspiracy behind the sinking of Titanic. Let's start. The sinking of Titanic remains one of the deadliest sinking incidents in maritime history, with more than 1,500 passengers and crew losing their lives. After more than a century since the incident took place, there are still many unanswered questions surrounding the sinking of this ship. From the lookout who spotted the Iceberg only 20 minutes before the impact, lifeboat captain who claimed that he saw flares being lit on the ship before it vanished beneath the waves. While these theories may seem far-fetched, they do raise some interesting questions about what really happened to the Titanic. There have been several conspiracy theories that surround the sinking of Titanic, but none are more intriguing than those that suggest the ship was deliberately sunk. In this video, we will be exploring the conspiracy theory that claims the owners of Titanic planned the sinking of the ship in order to collect on its insurance policy. This theory suggests that the owners of Titanic made a deal with an insurance company to sink the ship and then collect on its value. According to this theory, the ship was deliberately driven into an iceberg, causing it to sink and allowing the owners to collect on the insurance policy. This theory is based on the fact that Titanic was insured for a large amount of money, which would have been a significant payout at the time. It is also based on the suspicious circumstances surrounding the sinking of the ship, such as the lookout spotting the iceberg only 20 minutes before impact, and the lifeboat captain seeing flares being lit on the ship before it disappeared beneath the waves. Before we continue, let's first talk about how Titanic was built. The Titanic was built at the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Ireland. It was the second ship to be built for the White Star Line after its sister ship, the Olympic. The construction of the Titanic began on March 1898, and it was launched on May 31, 1911. It was designed to be the largest, most luxurious ship of its time, featuring state-of-the-art technology and opulent interiors. The ship was constructed using the latest shipbuilding techniques and materials. Its hull was made of high-quality steel, and it was equipped with advanced navigation and communication systems. Now let's talk about who owned Titanic. The Titanic was owned by the White Star Line, a British shipping company based in Liverpool, England. The company had a reputation for providing high-quality, first-class service on its ships. At the time of the sinking of the Titanic, the White Star Line was one of the largest and most successful shipping companies in the world. They operated a fleet of passenger liners that traveled between Europe and the Americas. The company had a monopoly on transatlantic travel, and its ships were highly sought after by wealthy travelers. The owners of the White Star Line were the Astor family. They were one of the wealthiest families in the world at the time, and they used their fortune to build the Titanic as the ultimate showcase of luxury and elegance. The family's name was synonymous with wealth and power, and they were known for their lavish lifestyle. Now let's talk about why Titanic was insured. The Titanic was insured for a massive £140,000, which was the equivalent of approximately $3.6 billion in today's money. The insurance policy covered the ship against damage or loss while at sea. The policy was taken out with several insurance companies, including the largest at the time, the Prudential Assurance Company. The insurance company agreed to pay out the full value of the ship if it was lost at sea. At the time, the Titanic was the most valuable ship ever built, making it a prime target for insurance fraud. Some people believe that the sinking of Titanic was not an accident, but rather a planned event orchestrated by the ship's owners as part of an insurance scam. According to this theory, the owners of Titanic, the Astor family, had taken out a massive insurance policy on the ship, and they deliberately caused the sinking of the vessel in order to collect on the payout. There is no concrete evidence to support this claim, but it persists nonetheless. Proponents of the theory argue that the timing of the sinking and the massive payout from the insurance company are too suspicious to be a coincidence. They also point to the fact that the ship was carrying a full load of passengers and cargo, which would have increased the payout from the insurance company. However, There is no evidence that the Astor family had any involvement in the sinking of the ship, and the theory is largely seen as a baseless conspiracy. There have been several theories proposed over the years to explain how the Titanic could have been deliberately sunk. One popular theory is that the ship's captain, Edward Smith, was bribed by the owners to intentionally steer the ship into an iceberg. Another theory is that the ship's crew was sabotaged, either by someone on board or by someone who wanted to see the ship destroyed. Still, another theory is that the ship was intentionally set on fire, causing it to sink. These theories are all speculative, and there is no evidence to support them. However, they have persisted in popular culture and have been the subject of numerous books, films, and documentaries. The sinking of the Titanic remains one of the most mysterious events in maritime history. While the official inquiry into the sinking of the Titanic concluded that it was the result of a combination of factors, including the ship, speed, the lookout, its failure to spot the iceberg in time, and the lack of lifeboats in the area. Some people still believe that there was more to the sinking than meets the eye. The conspiracy theory that the sinking of Titanic was planned by the ship's owners as part of an insurance scam is one of the most enduring and controversial theories. While there is no concrete evidence to support this claim, it continues to be a popular topic of discussion among conspiracy theorists and fans of the show. Whether or not the sinking of Titanic was planned is likely to remain a mystery for many years to come. With that being said, let's now talk about the real Titanic. The Titanic was a British passenger liner that sank in the North Atlantic Ocean in 1911 after colliding with an iceberg. The sinking of the Titanic is one of the deadliest commercial peacetime maritime disasters in modern history, resulting in the loss of more than 1,500 passengers and crew. The Titanic was built by the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Ireland, and was owned by the White Star Line. The ship was considered to be the epitome of luxury and comfort, featuring spacious cabins, a gymnasium, a swimming pool, and a dining room that could seat more than 2,000 people. On April 10, 1911, the Titanic departed Southampton, England, on its maiden voyage to New York City. The ship was carrying a total of 2,224 passengers and crew. 4 days into the journey, on April 14, 1911, at around 11:40 p.m., the Titanic collided with an iceberg on the starboard side of the ship. The impact caused a series of gashes in the hull, which began to flood the ship. Despite the damage, the ship remained afloat. The crew attempted to repair the damage, but the pumps were unable to keep the water out. By the early hours of April 15, 1911, the ship was almost completely submerged. Lifeboats were dispatched to the scene, but the majority of the passengers and crew were unable to be saved. Of the 2,224 people on board, an estimated 1,500 died, making the sinking of the Titanic one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. Now let's talk about the Titanic that sank to the depth of the ocean. The wreck of the Titanic was discovered on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean in 1985 by a joint American-French expedition. The discovery of the wreck was a significant event, as it provided physical evidence of the sinking of the ship and allowed researchers to learn more about the disaster. The wreck is located approximately 12,500 feet, or 3,800 meters below the surface of the water, and is protected by international maritime law. Numerous expeditions have been conducted to explore the wreck, which has yielded a wealth of artifacts and other evidence related to the sinking of the ship. The discovery of the wreck has also led to renewed efforts to recover some of the artifacts from the ship, which are believed to be worth millions of dollars. Some of the items that have been recovered include life jackets, dishes, glasses, and personal belongings of the passengers and crew. The discovery of the wreck of the Titanic is one of the most significant maritime discoveries of the 20th century. It has provided an invaluable resource for historians and researchers seeking to learn more about the sinking of the ship and the lives of those who perished. The wreck is a reminder of the human cost of the disaster and serves as a memorial to the victims. What did you think? You think the Titanic was sunk purposely by the owners to collect insurance money? Or was it just an unfortunate incident? Do you know any other Titanic conspiracy theories? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for new videos. Thanks for watching.